guys, welcome back to my channel today. In today's video, I am going to be talking about 5 unique things that you can do while social distancing. Now, this is something that, of course, we are highly recommended to do. I know in Canada here, this is like an extremely important recommendation for us. I don't know about other countries in the world, but this COVID-19 thing has really hit a ton of people and it's really serious. So that's why I've decided to make a video like this so that we can have some ideas to kind of keep us busy. I really hope that all of you guys are safe and healthy, and I'm just thinking of you guys and your families during this time. So without further ado, let's talk about some things that we can do to occupy our time and really do our part to keep this virus from spreading. All right, now the first idea that I have for you guys is actually getting out and doing some physical activity. If you have a dog like me, you can obviously take them for a walk. So breaking up the day can help by going for a walk with your dog if you are able to. So if you live in a non-crowded area, you can definitely do that. I know that this guy's been getting some extra love because of this, so he's been really happy. But that is something that you can do as well, just to kind of break apart the day. I know that if you're like me, staying indoors the entire time can kind of be very like draining and almost can make you kind of go crazy. So getting outdoors can definitely help that. So if you are able to do that, if you live in a crowded area, I wouldn't recommend it obviously, but if you live in an area where you can do that, that is definitely something you can do. There's also a ton of exercise classes on YouTube. So I know for me, there's a ton of gyms that are closed or alternate accommodations for physical activity centers. So you can definitely go to YouTube for yoga, Pilates, really anything, because there's a ton of fitness YouTubers out there that post their workouts and they're awesome. Whitney Simmons is my favorite. So if you have any other types of workouts to share, do let me know. There's Whitney, and then there's who else? Love Sweat Fitness is also a really good resource. Now, number 4 coming in hot is actually discover TikTok. Before you guys completely dismiss this idea, this is actually a very good, entertaining time waster. And this is something that at first I was so cringe, you guys. When I thought of the idea of TikTok, I was like, no, I'm not 12. The content is not going to appeal to me. These are really kind of lame things, but to be honest, this app is really exploding and there's a ton of creators on there now that have moved over that are doing some different type of content for you. It's not just preteens dancing to things. You'll definitely still see that, but for the most part, I feel like this app is really exploding to have content for all ages. I am on TikTok myself. I am at Jen Fro because Jenna Phrase conveniently was not available. There's also Ashley Clady here on YouTube. She's on TikTok. Samantha March is on TikTok, and Makeup Molly is also on TikTok. If you know of other people on TikTok or you are on TikTok, add me and share your handle in the comments below too, because this is so fun. And I just let my goofy self shine on that app. Like, I'm not all makeup over there. So it's a good way to get to know creators on a bit of a personal level. Learning one of those TikTok dances can also be a good time waster. And I know that this might be lame to some of you, but it's actually kind of fun. I don't have a dancing bone in my body, and one of my friends was able to teach me one of them. I think it was the baby one. Number one baby, like that one. I'm the most stiff, awkward person on TikTok, and yet I love it. So definitely consider checking it out because it will help to kind of pass the hours away as well. Number 3, of course, is binge watching Netflix or any other streaming service that you do have. For me, I have Netflix, and I still have Friends on my Netflix because I am Canadian, so thank goodness for that. Friends is truly there for me. I'm such a terrible, I'm not even funny. Anyways, let's keep going. I also really love a ton of crime documentaries. Right now, I am watching one that's incredibly sad, but very interesting. It is the Trials of Gabriel Fernandez. I've seen the Aaron Hernandez one, the Madeleine McCann one, or Madeleine McCann, I think her name is. So all of those are incredibly interesting if you're into that kind of thing. If you like thrillers, You is fantastic. It's a little gory if you're kind of, you know, a little aversive to that, but it's not too bad, just like a very little bit. And that's a good one. Love is Blind is like reality TV. And The Circle is also one, if you haven't heard of it yet, that's also a very interesting one. So both The Circle and Love is Blind have kind of some interesting elements to reality TV. They're definitely binge worthy, and those are 2 that I kind of flew through myself. But if you have any other Netflix shows, I would love to hear it. So do let me know in the comments. Now, number 2 is definitely decluttering. And this is something that I feel feel like we all need to do at some point, so this is a perfect time to do it. Now, decluttering for me is mostly going through my makeup, making sure I don't have anything that is expired. If something is expired, you will be able to tell for the most part because of the integrity is lost, meaning that if you swatch it, it's not the same creaminess or consistency that it once was, or if it has an odd smell. Now, those are two things that you can kind of pick up right away, like that's not right, something is not right with this. You can also find products that you don't typically use anymore or you've lost interest in ever using. So you can set those items aside for friends and family. If they are new and unused, you can donate them, but right now, obviously not at this moment, but just set them aside so that when this social distancing thing is lifted, we'll be able to, you know, have more contact with other people, and then you can pass along makeup items that you've kind of set aside. This to me is kind of like spring cleaning. Like I tend to do this for sure around this season anyway, so it's a good opportunity to just organize things. Clothes is another thing that you can kind of organize, go through and look at items that you haven't worn in at least a year and kind of put them aside and know that these are clothes that can go to people that actually need clothes. So set them aside for donation or again, pass them along to family or friends if you feel that they would use them. The last thing you can do to occupy your time during social distancing is self-care. This could be anything, whatever you think self-care is. If that's pulling out a book, right now I am reading the Crazy Rich Asians trilogy, sorry. So the movie I watched, but I didn't read the first book, and now I'm on the second book. I also have the third book that I will be reading after that. To All the Boys I've Loved Before is another really good trilogy. It's very easy read. There's also some good ones in Reese Witherspoon's book club. If you are American, I believe that's at Barnes & Noble that she has like a list of books that she recommends. And when I was in Hawaii, I picked up a couple of them and they were so good. A Stranger in the House is good. I forget the author's name, but I will show a picture of the book here. And all of the books that she's written, you guys, are fantastic. So those are all good options. Taking a bath is another thing that I love to do, and put in that Lush bath bomb if you have any. Bath soaks are good. I love the Surf Soak. It's locally made in Canada in Vancouver, and that's a great one. They also sell it at Holt Renfrew now if you are Canadian. A good option for sure. I also love the Laura Mercier bath, I think it's called Bath Melt or something. It's a really nice consistency and it makes the bath nice and moisturizing as well. So I will link that in the description box below too, but those are also available at Sephora online. If you are a self-tanner, this is another thing to do during your spare time. I know for me, I'm not the best at it and I don't do it that often, but that's another good option for you because it is something you have to methodically, you know, spend your time getting right so that it's not streaky or anything. So that's a good option. And also doing a puzzle is another thing that you can consider doing. So I know for me, I'm not really into puzzles myself. I'm trying to get into them again because I once really liked them. There was a point where I was really frustrated when I couldn't find a certain piece and I would just be like, oh, I'm over it. But this is a good time to kind of get back into that. So if you do have puzzles at home, another good option. What are you guys keeping yourself busy with during this social distancing time? I hope all of you guys are safe and healthy. And until my next one, guys, take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.
You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way.